when people, I'm sort of doing rapid fire questioning now, I think. When people talk about the golden age would be like 1,000 years of peace, um, why is it 1,000 years?
Well, it depends
Is
upon the
there?
idea of the time to come. Because astrologically, there will always be shades of gray. You have to look at gradients rather than the idea of something that is simply black or white. Now, the gradients will be much more of a higher capacity. But basically, after 1,000 years, we have said that it is very unlikely that the majority of human presence will actually be on Earth. They will be spread throughout the galaxy. And there will actually be other races that will come upon the earth that will therefore have their own situations, their own experiences, their own trials, we will say. So humanity, after again moving into a galactic civilization, will start to inhabit many other different planets throughout the galaxy, and even in other galaxies in the times ahead. So basically what's happening is that much in regards to humanity will not really, on a majority sense, be upon your planet. There may still be some, but it's of a very, very small number.
Okay, so that kind of leads into the hybrid children.
Yes, because
Um,
those are the ones that are more so going to occupy your planet, the hybrids.
so, but yeah, I guess I don't, not fully understanding like the purpose. Like, are they so that they can then come be on Earth,
They've
or?
never experienced Earth in the way that you have, and within the generations ahead, to where humanity will become more prevalent among the stars, they will have the opportunity to inhabit the Earth because part of their genetics belongs to that planet. And they want to have experiences upon the Earth as well too. They will become its caretakers. As we stated, it's not the idea of the finality of humanity against the Earth, but as we stated, it's more minimalized pertaining to human presence. It'll be much more for the hybrid children because they have experiences with the Earth that they want to see through. It is through the idea of their sympathetic resonance and bringing that forward onto the Earth to help improve her in certain ways as well too. And they will go through their own trials and tribulations as well too. So the idea of the Earth pertaining to 1,000 years hence would be the idea, or 1,000 years forward, would be the idea of hybrids coming upon the planet to therefore share their experiences upon the Earth, much more than the human race. Because you are going to go to other planets. You are going to seed yourself upon other planets, because humanity really is needed to go to different worlds to teach others what not to do within societies. You will become grand teachers.
That's interesting because, well, okay, I don't know if this question can necessarily be answered, but within, like, once we're in fourth density, how long would you say, if you could say, that an average lifespan would be for someone who makes it the harvest?
As long as you want.
Right.
You are no longer under the mercy of the idea of unconscious death, which means people will naturally decide to give up their body if they choose to. So the idea of
Right.
what you would understand as mortal death will become lesser and lesser century by century. Many of you may start to do this on a technological level. Many of you will do this on a consciousness level, that you can keep your body going for as long as you wish, and you can give it up at any particular times, and there's no pain involved. Think of it in this particular way. When you go to sleep at night and you start to dream, is it painful? Is it painful to
No.
leave your body to go
No.
into the dream plane? No. Well, that is exactly how simple it will be. If one decides to vacate their body and therefore let their body return to the earth, as it were, they can do it no more different than going into REM sleep and entering the astral plane. It's painless. It truly is painless to leave your body. And we're referring to that on the soul level as well too, not just your astral body, but through your soul level as well. It can be absolutely painless. You just simply go into a simple state of trance. And it is absolutely painless for the soul to leave the body. But because many of you are still under this mortality complex, you feel that severe illnesses or something painful actually has to lead to the soul leaving the body. It's because you have an untrained mind that is not familiar with the idea of actually consciously leaving the body through soul level.
So would we be able then to be in a body that doesn't break down, like a
Correct.
youth body then?
Yes. And you can repair it either consciously or technologically.
Okay.
Where you are going as a people will be devoid of war. It will be devoid of poverty. It will be devoid of suffering. It will be devoid of illnesses. It will be devoid of conflict pertaining to classes or rankings or the idea of money. That's all going to go. And this, again, as we say, is your continual evolution century by century. You will live on a truly peaceful planet where no one would ever think of harming you. No one would ever think of creating corrupt agendas for their own selfish deeds. That will be unheard of. They will be aware that it's happened in your past, but that will not be the society that you will be a part of. The idea of any particular form of suffering in any shape, way, or form will be a thing of the past. Humanity of those times ahead will, in that sense, never consider the idea of doing something like that. It will be unheard of. That's how far you're going to advance. You see? You are not at the mercy of death anymore. You will be able to finally surpass it. You will make the decisions to preserve your body. You will make the decisions to decide to bring longevity to yourself and give up your body whenever you see fit. It is not a struggle anymore. But your logical, physical, egoic brain doesn't get that because you're not at that place yet. But we will say that there are many of you who will incarnate on the earth again and will experience a reality like that. You are going to bring heaven onto earth. We mean that very literally. It is going to be a paradise. Everybody is going to be helping everybody else for the betterment of humanity. Very similar to what you term as your Star Trek show, where everybody works together. There is no money. There is no greed. There is no war. There is no poverty. Those are things of your past. That is what you're getting out of right now as you go through this tunnel transition past the corrupt. You are going to see the corrupt die right before your eyes. Right now. And in the years ahead. That's what's happening. It is the death of the corrupt, and it is the rise of the pure. The meek shall inherit the earth. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's where you're going as a species.
So is it just because of the level of contrast that we will have dealt with that we would then be going and teaching others
exactly what not to do? Yes, because you will look at your history extensively. Many of you will actually be able to go into other timelines and look into, as you would term, your ancient past, and would actually be able to witness through your own eyes what has actually happened throughout your course of history. You will appear invisible to other people. And so you are able to look at these other timelines in observation. There will be quantum technology that will actually show you how to go into other timelines and observe these events. And being able to document these events as well, because others will be able to go into them as well. And you will all be completely invisible. You would be like, as you would say, ghosts into those timelines. You would be able to see the times of Jesus. You would be able to go back into your ancient times to where dinosaurs ruled the earth. You would be able to go back into the JFK assassination. You would be able to go into any of these particular timelines that you wish, and this will be public. And there will be community members that would actually be able to give notes and discourses in regards to actual history, which means what you have perceived as history in regards to limited perceptions will basically be thrown away and replaced with much more clarity-based history.
That's so interesting because I've always wished that I could use technology to go do that exact thing.
Yes.
So,
and you will actually know how to navigate the vibrational currents so that you can experience simultaneous timelines together. It becomes stabilized. It's like a bridge. So for example, if you wanted to witness the birth of Jesus, you would be able to find the vibrational line that contains that information and stabilize it. And as it becomes stabilized, you would actually be able to dreamweave yourselves into that event, looking at it completely invisible from all others within that space, because you're looking at it from another dimension, a dimension that humans do not have access to. So you'll be completely invisible. You would be an observation.
it sounds like Project Looking Left, but much more advanced.
Much more sophisticated.
Stable.
You would actually be there. But you are looking at it behind a looking glass, but it really represents the idea of another dimension. You're in a veiled dimension that cannot be detected by human presence. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com. Thank you very much for checking out my channel. Below you'll see my links to social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also go to healingcodecards.com, pick up your own Healing Code Cards body deck, and of course check out my website at newearthteachings.com. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next video.